Hey YouTube, what's up guys? How's it going? So I just wanted to do a quick video on how to get your credit score up, right? Yeah. I brought my credit score up 103 points. I brought it up from a 571 to a 674. Your girl was busy and I did that all in literally 1 month. So yeah. Um so first off, um like your credit obviously means everything. I think the average credit score nowadays is probably like a 650. But you really do need like a good credit score if you want to get a car, you want to have a good interest rate, obviously if you want to buy a house, and that's exactly what I was trying to do. So I was budgeting and I got um, with like a mortgage lender who have this program called a Lighthouse program. And basically, what they do is they check your credit score and then they look at the things that are basically impacting your credit score. So for me, it was like a credit card and another debt that I had to pay off. So what I did was I would try to make double down on my payments. A good strategy is uh, every month, or if you get paid like every 2 weeks, I get paid monthly, is to write down what you get paid and then all your bills that you have to pay for that month. Some months may be different, some months may seem the same. It's repetitive, yes, but at least you can see like where your money is going. I'm the type of girl where I like to swipe my card. And there are some miscellaneous things that come out that you don't even think of, like if you're paying for Hulu or you're paying for Netflix, like you have to think at those things too. So you basically want to make sure that you are being accountable for all your funds. So like if you have a credit card payment and your minimum payment is $25, that's not going to go far, because when your interest rate hits, it's going to go back up and it'll probably exceed your credit limit. So say for instance, you have a $3,000 limit, right? You put $50 down on your credit card and you're left with a balance of $29.50. Now, your interest rate will hit in like the middle of the month, and usually on your statement you can gauge like roughly about what your interest rate is going to be. And so say like your interest rate is at like a 17%, and so for that month you are charged about like 30 some odd dollars. You no longer have $2,950 left on your balance. You now have 2,900 and like $20 or $10 left because of your interest rate. And if you use your card, then that balance is even going to be less than that. But say like you pay $50 on your credit card and you're like, oh, I need to get gas and I don't have any more money. You get your gas and your gas was only like $45, but then your interest rate hit in the middle of the month. So add that $31 onto that, you're now above your credit limit. So you want to make sure you watch that or mindful of that. You want to make sure that you're try to double down on your credit card payments. And like this season, I mean, it's tax season, so it's great. It's time for you to take those funds instead of getting like a new car or spending it on a trip that you wanted to go on. Use that money to pay off your credit cards or at least pay them down. And you want to make sure that you're not carrying them with you. Like if you are trying to get to your goal, you want to make sure that you are able to save. So when you're calculating all your bills for the month or for every 2 weeks and you have money left over, start putting away like $25, $50, $100 here and there. So that way you are saving. Okay. And then at the end of the year, if you're putting like $100 away, every month, at the end of the year, you're going to have $1,200 more than what you started off with. That $1,200 can go towards a credit card. That $1,200 can go towards you paying off possibly 2 credit cards or a store credit card. So think of those things. Like if you are like me and you have a car payment, don't worry about your car payment because it's always going to be there, especially if you have, like a $30,000 car loan. Don't put it towards that. Put it towards the things that are going to make a really big impact on your credit score. Okay. So that means you want to stay within, either you want to pay off your balance, but don't ever close out your credit card. Okay. Because you want to make sure that you have lines of credit. But you do want to make sure that, like, you keep your balance no more than 10% of what your credit usage is. So 10% of 3,000 is obviously no more than $300. And of course, less than that would be great. But I was able to pay off like 4 credit cards and like one of my debts, and I was able to bring down a balance of like one of my cards and put some more money down on like a personal loan that I have. So as long as I keep doing that and paying those down, that's going to increase my debt to income ratio. So, or I should say decrease my debt to income ratio, because that's a lot of what lenders look at is your debt to income ratio. And if you're looking at buying a home, I will tell you this, they do not want to see your debt to income ratio being like more than 45% of what you are bringing in versus what you have coming out. So, those are just some tips that I'm just giving you and that I used. Like I said, tax season is a really great time to do that. You can allocate your funds, and you can also, at least make sure you have a little money left over for like a rainy day or just to possibly treat yourself. But put yourself on a budget. Don't go out eating out every week, because those things add up. The average cost for like going out to eat, even for just lunch nowadays, is about $10. And if you do that 5 days a week, you're spending $50. And you do that for a whole month, then you've spent $200 in a month that you didn't even realize that you were spending. So, put more money towards groceries and start packing yourself a lunch. It'll be a lot cheaper. You want to go hang out with your friends for lunch, you can totally bring your lunch with you and still go out to eat with them, just not spend a whole bunch of money. Make sure like if you plan on spending money, you take the cash out and you don't go swiping your card. So if you say, I'm gonna give myself like $50 for the 2 weeks, right? So that would mean like $100 for those of you who get paid monthly, for the whole entire month. And if you just use all of that $100 for, eating out, then that's it. There's no more. But really pay attention to your credit score. You can always go pull your credit score through Credit Karma, a good app to use and that I use in keeping track of everything. And it also will give you like an analysis and basically give you like a grade and what you could potentially like get up to. And it'll also tell you your oldest credit history, which is good. Having a good line of credit for a longevity will also help to increase your score. And that app is Credit Sesame. I use it and I love it. It will send you alerts to let you know, like if your credit score increases or if there's an inquiry. Oh, and that's another thing. When you're doing this, guys, do not open any more credit. No more lines of credit. If you are trying to get this stuff done, do not open any more lines of credit, because it will hurt your credit score. Okay? If you do it, I believe, like more than 3 times, like if you're applying to get like a loan or something like that and you do it more than 3 times in a month, it is going to drop your credit score. So don't do it. It's not worth it. And then also, no late payments. Make sure you set up automatic payments, or make sure you know, like for me, as soon as I get paid, like on the 1st, I'm paying all my bills. I don't care if they're due like on the 12th. I don't care if they're due on the 18th, because I don't know what's going to happen on the 12th. I don't know what's going to happen come the 18th, you know. So I'd rather pay all my bills out at the beginning of the month, and then that way I know what I have left over after that towards the end. And then that way it's like, okay, if I want to go and buy my daughter some new clothes, or if I want to just like have a Friday where we just, you know, order food out, then we can do that. But I also can look to say like, oh, well, I have like $400 left over. I'm going to go ahead and put like another 100 towards this bill or whatever like that. So, and that's also another good thing with writing it out. Like when you see how much money you have left over, if you put yourself on a budget, then you can say, okay, well, I can allocate more money to this credit card, or I can allocate more money towards this store card, or paying off this debt, or, you know, whatever. And if you have student loans and you're paying those, make sure you pay them on time. But if you're having trouble or your student loans are just getting out of hand, always look at seeing if you can get them deferred, and by doing like economic deference. And you can do that for like, I think, a year, and then you just have to like renew it. So look at to doing that, and that will also help your credit score. And then yeah, I think that's pretty much basically it. So if I can do it, guys, you definitely can. Getting your credit score up and raising it 100 points in 1 month, come on now, guys. Like, who doesn't want to do that? So good luck to you. God bless. Like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Okay, bye.